WWE could be bringing back a former tag team after becoming interested in using them once again. And in this video, I got all the details, and oh, is it juicy? It is juicy, y'all. After a strong run in NXT and a constant start and stop push on the main roster due to injury and just creative, AOP, Akam, and Razor, Authors of Pain, they were released in 2022. And before they departed, Razor actually had been on the sidelines because he had a torn triceps. If you recall, they had been paired with Seth Rollins at the time. And then Akam was pulled from television because of his tag team partner being injured. And then they went on and was released. Now, they have not wrestled since departing from WWE, although they did attempt to start their own wrestling promotion with the WES promotion that booked a lot of former WWE stars that had also been released at that time, including Nia Jax, Lana, and some others, with the idea of holding shows in Europe in 2022. However, that project just simply never got off the ground. Here's where things get interesting. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select reported that months after it was reported earlier this year, 2023, that there had been talk of the tag team returning to the company. Sources told the media outlet AOP have actually been under contract with WWE since 2022, though they haven't been able to confirm as much. So sources have told them this, but they haven't been able to confirm it, which is interesting. But I'm going to get a lot more in that in a minute. They were told exactly it was before Vince McMahon came back, because that put a halt on all signings besides new recruits. Now, there have been some signings in recent months, including Brian Pillman Jr., a former AEW star. The report went on to say that AOP had made sure that Paul Ellering, their former manager, has been heavily involved in the negotiations, which makes sense because he was the Road Warriors managers back in the day. And the report added that as of May, they were listed, at least for that month, on the travel schedule. Now, here's where things get really interesting. PW Insider also reported today that there has been a lot of talk over the last week about AOP and Paul Ellering returning to make some appearances soon, mostly for the NXT brand. There was talk at Tuesday's NXT TV event about them potentially appearing as soon as next month. That makes a lot of sense, because if you think about it, they have been using main roster talent in NXT to boost the ratings and, work with the younger guys. And I've praised the company for doing so. I think it's a brilliant move. By bringing in established guys, getting them back in the mix, because it's been a minute, and I'm sure they'll have a little bit of ring rust, getting them back in the groove of things, being able to reestablish them, rebuild them up, and then eventually get them to the main roster where they no doubt deserve. The guys can go. Their issues has always been injuries. They're very injury prone, so you got to be very selective when you use them and everything like that. But they're a hell of a tag team, and I liked them down in NXT, and for the most part, I really enjoyed what they were doing with Seth Rollins in the pandemic before Rollins really in 2021 went berserk and was like this over-the-top character. But either way, I like this, and I'm glad to hear it. So we'll see how everything shakes out. But yeah, that's the latest on AOP, y'all.